Hello everyone, welcome to this wacky concept for a video. I'm sure nobody's ever done this before. In a recent YouTube video, Sakurai, the guy at the head of Smash Bros, basically said what we were all thinking, which is the next Smash Bros game can't just add more characters. It's going to have to do something different, which means the roster is likely going to be smaller. So let's make a roster. Basically, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to try to separate the characters in Ultimate between the characters that I think should come back and the characters I think should stay forgotten, or at least in Ultimate. Some of these are going to be easy, like, for example, where's the main man? Sora. Probably not going to pay Disney for Sora again, right? He's probably out. So, but there's also really easy picks, like where's the main man? Mario. Definitely in. You can't have Smash Bros without Mario. And, you know, I'll put Luigi in there too. I'm doing something a little bit ridiculous in what I'm doing. Also, I should... No, I have these the right way. Never mind. Out should be on the top so that we don't have to scroll past it every time, because there's obviously going to be more characters in there. I'm only picking 20 characters to stay. And this is based on Smash Bros. Brawl's roster, which actually has like 35 characters, I think, in it. But 15 of those were newcomers. And we got to make space for newcomers because this game is going to have newcomers. Even though it's like, who could they possibly add? They have to add somebody new, or else there's going to be no marketing push for this game. You know what I mean? Like, we need that hype season with the trailers. There's no way they're not adding anybody new. And as much as it would be kind of a dream for them to just go back and rework the characters, like all of them, and really update their movesets for current games, which I'm still hoping they'll do, that isn't really trailer worthy for anybody except for like competitive players and people who are really into this game. It's not going to get the media buzz that a new character would. So I'm leaving space for 15 new characters in the roster, and I'm going to only pick 20, and it's going to be extremely hard to pick 20. There are 88 characters in Ultimate. That's a quarter of the characters in the game. Now, you can cheat a little bit, which Smash Bros. Has done in the past, because of those 20 characters, a few of them had transformations. Like, Pokemon Trainer is technically one character, but, like, he's actually 3 characters. And Sheik and Zelda were still 1 character at that point. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of leeway for stuff like that. I don't think they'll bring the transformation characters back, but, you know, if it's like between 2 and I'm like, well, is it going to be Pokemon Trainer or this other character? It's probably going to be that other character, but Pokemon Trainer is technically 1 character, so it's not that big of a detracting factor to his potential. And I think I'm just going to go in a row after we get some obvious ones out of the way. So let's get all the DLC that's probably not coming back out. Well, I'm going to guess Steve's probably not coming back. I'm going to guess Sephiroth is probably not coming back. Yes, Kazuya's probably not coming back. I don't know, maybe Banjo, maybe Joker. Those ones are a little bit more in line with... Why are there, like, 3... Oh, no, this one's supposed to be for Kazooie. That's why. I don't know if we're paying Dragon Quest. And where's the other one that we pay for? Where is he? He's got to be in here somewhere. Snake? Snake! Okay, I found him. We're probably not getting Snake back. We could... But I'm just going to put him in there for now. Again, 20 characters. We're going to have to be very smart with our picks. So the definite ones that are in: Mario, Luigi, Pikachu. Basically, I'm going to assume that the original Smash Bros. From the first game are all going to return. Kirby, Link, Captain Falcon. Who else is an original Smash Bro? Ness. I don't know if I'm going to put Ness in there quite yet. Samus. Can't forget Samus. Who else? Yoshi, right? Right? Yeah, definitely. And Donkey Kong. Where's Donkey Kong? There's Donkey Kong. Okay, so this is already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 characters. Because I added Luigi, but we didn't quite add Ness yet. So we only have 11 characters to choose from now. I'm going to kind of discount Echo Fighters, because they can basically be skins. Dark Pit can basically be a skin of Pit. Daisy can basically be a skin of Peach. And I know that there are some gameplay differences between these guys, but they're generally pretty small. I don't think we really need Dr. Mario. Who else? Let's actually get all the characters that have like a clone character up at the top here. Chrom. Who else is there? Well, Falco and Fox are kind of clone characters. Kind of. Like, very slightly. Lucario and Mewtwo. There's Fox. I found him. Ken and Ryu. Marth and Lucina. Oh boy. This is going to be tough, yeah. I already knew that, but... Okay, Pichu's not coming back. We all know that. And neither is Young Link, probably. That's not Young Link. That's Toon Link. There's Young Link. I gotta kind of clear some things out here so I can find all the characters I'm looking for. I'm gonna actually just throw all Omar in here right now while I've got him. And also Inkling. Where's Inkling? These are Nintendo's flagship series, right? If they're only gonna have one rep, which I doubt is probably true, then it's gonna be these ones. Is Inkling not here? Or am I just missing her? Nope, there she is. Found her. So how many's in a row? Oh, perfect. There's 10 in a row. So when we finish this second row, we're screwed. Okay. I don't know if we have that many more dupe characters. Oh, there's Peach for Daisy, but I already put Daisy away. Never mind. I guess technically Ike and Chrom. I could put all the Fire Emblems up here, really. And I'm not one of those people who's like, ooh, Fire Emblem. I love Fire Emblem. But there's no way that all these Fire Emblem characters are getting back in. Because they usually get swapped out, right, every time. Corrin was up here somewhere. I saw Corrin earlier. Yeah. Okay, so let's do Fire Emblem right now. Because that'll help. That'll get some characters out of the way. Roy is pretty irrelevant. But his game might get a remake soon. But not before 4 gets a remake, so probably not. Chrom had his chance, but he's not the most marketable character from that game. It would be either Robin or Lucina. Speaking of, I almost forgot about Robin. Oh, and Ryu for Ken. There. No, he's dodging you, Ryu. Corrin's definitely not in if we're picking out important Fire Emblem characters. And as much as I love Ike, it's a little bit dicey here. I think Lucina can probably be a skin for Marth, and it's fine. I know people like Lucina's... Lucinia? What the hell is that? Lucina's more balanced swordplay style better. But, like, she is an Echo Fighter. So you could still have her be an Echo Fighter in the same character slot, quote-unquote. And it probably wouldn't take enough effort to really be considered a completely different character. I mean, we already have the model and stuff, so it's not like... That's not in consideration. It's literally just tuning her moves slightly differently. In the same way as, like, Daisy, basically, is what I'm saying. So, yeah. Put Marth up here, too. I've realized that I've cut all the female characters, but there's only... Well, no, because Robin and Byleth both have female alts. You could probably put the female all normal for Byleth, because that seems to be the one everybody actually recognizes. And we do technically maybe still have Lucina, I guess. It's really hard to pick between these four. So Byleth is the most recent right now, but probably won't be at the time. He does have a very unique moveset, though, that I think is very cool, and it represents Fire Emblem pretty well, because he's using the 3 main weapons, right? Three Houses is also a landmark game, so it makes sense. Awakening is also a landmark game, though, and Robin is the only magic user from the Fire Emblem series, which is a pretty big deal, but he's never been good. And I feel like people usually forget that he's even there. So I think we're going to stick with Lucina as an Echo Fighter. I should maybe add a new tier for Echo Fighter. Because you might, like, Lucina might lose her specific traits. I guess Dark Samus could probably go back to being a costume. What I think they would do with these is probably... Chrom is like his own... He's a whole different thing, though, so I'm not putting Chrom in there. What I think they'd probably do is use the model of Dark Samus, but have Dark Samus walk like regular Samus? I don't know if that would work, really. Because Dark Samus is a little different. I don't know. That's hard to say. If it's just going to return to a color scheme for Samus, or keep some of the weird animations, but it gives Samus's body different hitboxes, so it's a little weird. Dark Pit's a little easier because he really only has two defining characteristics, that being that his arrow flies straighter and does a little bit more damage, and Electroshock Arm flies at a different angle, I think, than Upper Dash Arm, which makes it slightly more useful, but he could just have Upper Dash Arm and it'd be fine. You could just reuse the model. He could still keep his custom voice lines and everything. Daisy is literally the same, just custom voice lines, and Lucina could work with the tipper. It's a little bit less of a fitting thing, but, you know, she did dress up as Marth, so I think it's fair. And Dr. Mario could literally just be a costume, I think, at this point. He's a meme. Literally a meme. So, yeah. Which between these three Fire Emblem characters, though? Marth is obviously the most iconic, especially to Smash Bros, and it also gets Lucina, so I feel like that's a given. I don't know if Byleth or Ike will return. I think Ike is more cuttable than Byleth. Seems how he is a more interesting, maybe, character in terms of his moveset. But his game didn't sell that well, so I don't know if it would be a priority. Whereas Byleth, Three Houses was like a huge seller, like best seller in the Fire Emblem series, I think. Maybe Awakening still edges it out, I don't know. But, this would also be the only Avatar character. So if there was going to be a second Fire Emblem character, it'd probably be Byleth or a character from the newest series, but I'm going to leave them out for now, because, again, we only have 6 more slots to work with. I might cheat a little bit, but, you know. Here, I'll add a tier for overflow characters. So these are characters that I could definitely see being in if, you know, we have some more space. Between Fox and Falco, the obvious choice is Fox, who I forgot is one of the main Smash Bros. So, oops. Was there 10 original Smash Bros. Or 8 original Smash Bros.? Now I feel like I'm forgetting another one. Because there definitely wasn't 11, and I have left out Ness. So who else was in there? It's probably somebody super obvious that I'm just not thinking about. Jigglypuff. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Let's get the Miis out of here. Depends if you even think of the Miis as characters, necessarily. Because they're basically just reskinning other characters' moves onto a customizable little body. But they obviously have some of their own original stuff, so I'm not going to count them as not characters. Where's the other one? The final one. There's too many characters in this goddamn game. I can't even find the Miis. There's Mii Brawler, okay. Okay. Wolf could definitely be a costume. Falco would be a little harder to make a costume, but I think you could do it. I'm going to put Falco in Overflow. I think Wolf is probably out. Or in I put him in Echo Fighter for being a costume here. Oh my god, what did that do? Not what I wanted, I'll tell you that much. Oh, okay, there we go. I'll make this like gray to say, oh, so sad. Okay, I think Lucario's definitely out. I'm kind of surprised Lucario's lasted this long. That was a Gen 4 include. We just had Gen 4 remakes. That's how long Lucario's been in the game. And now with Mewtwo being back, I don't know if the Aura gimmick is enough to save Lucario, personally. We do need to decide, though, on another of Nintendo's flagship series right now. Animal Crossing, Isabelle or Villager? Now, it could just be a skin. That's definitely possible. But I think if I had to choose between one or the other, I'd have to go with Isabelle. But they could easily be costumes of each other, so maybe I should just go with Villager and put it in a costume to be safe. I do want to explain my reasoning, though, and it's that the Villager is so generic looking, like, intentionally, so that you can, like, customize it in the game, right? And you can... you can customize it in Smash to a degree, but they all look still fairly generic. Whereas you look at Isabelle and it's like, that's Animal Crossing. And yeah, I'd probably retool her moveset somewhat to be more in line with Villagers, but I don't know. It's hard to say. Between Ryu and Ken, it would obviously be Ryu, but I don't even know if like I'm going to add them in yet. So Incineroar is definitely out, though. Incineroar was kind of an odd pick even for Ultimate. Like, we were definitely going into Gen 8 when Ultimate was coming out, so it's a little weird. I think Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings are the most cuttable Mario character, quickly followed by Rosalina. Where is she? I like Rosalina having a unique style of gameplay, which is Puppet Fighter or whatever, you know, where Luma can fight at a distance and copy your commands. It is worth considering, but they could give that to a new character probably pretty easily. I could, you know what? I'll put her in Overflow. I'll put her in Overflow because I could see it. Okay. I think Sheik is worn out her time. And I know she's popular for being like a melee staple, but we do have Greninja. And it might be sacrilegious to say, but Greninja is also a ninja and could steal some of Sheik's moves. It's also like the most popular Pokemon of all time, even more popular than Pikachu. According to some poll, some Japanese poll. So I think you kind of gotta put Greninja in there. And if any series is gonna have two entries, like the Mario series, it's gonna be Pokemon. The only other one that definitely should have two entries is The Legend of Zelda. And between Zelda and Ganondorf, I gotta go with Ganondorf. And as much as I loathe to say that, I think I have to put Zelda in Overflow. I do think they would probably include all three. So, I don't know. It's hard to say. I also think they'd probably include both Peach and Bowser. And that would, like, fill the entire roster that I'm doing, is the problem. +1. So, like, that's just the Nintendo staples. We still have so many characters left. We don't even have Sonic in yet. So I guess I have to maybe increase my bounds a little bit here. I'll put some other characters into Overflow that I think are superfluous. Like Jigglypuff is an original Smasher, and so is Ness, but their relevance isn't like super high, so they're not a priority, I would say. Diddy Kong is a pretty beloved character, as is Charizard, but again, I don't think they're super high priority, same as Mewtwo. Like, if you could only have 20 characters, it'd probably be this, maybe even minus Yoshi. You know what I mean? So yeah. Wii Fit Trainer is a pretty outdated character at this point. I mean, we have Ring Fit Trainer, that could be a whole newcomer. Toon Link is also pretty outdated. I know he feels like the Young Link niche, but we haven't had a Young Link game in quite a while. Since, well, I guess... When was Triforce Heroes? That must have been like 2017 or something, right? So that's fairly recent. I don't know. It's hard to say. Zero Suit Samus is literally just Samus. We could definitely incorporate her playstyle into another character. I don't think that would be entirely too difficult. The only thing you'd be maybe missing is like a boost kick, but you could even give that to Captain Falcon. It wouldn't be that strange, you know what I mean? You would miss Falcon Dive, but I don't know. I mean, I've already cut Charizard technically, but I think Pokemon Trainer is mostly a novelty at this point. I love them, but yeah, that's 3 characters of work. That's not happening unless you're doing something like Ultimate again, I think. And it's kind of the same with Piranha Plant is a meme. Let's get all the meme characters out of the way. Who else is a meme? Duck Hunt's a meme. It's probably not coming back. A Game & Watch is pretty much a meme, despite being in a lot of Smash games. Rob is technically a meme. These guys are all just like, look at this old Nintendo game, and Ice Climbers. These are all the meme characters. I guess the Belmonts are also kind of a meme. I mean, they're probably not coming back anyway. But hey, it was cool. We got a lot of good music. Speaking of, I don't know if we're going to pay Rareware for Banjo or K-Rool. So, yeah. I could see them paying Square for Cloud, though. Way more than those other two, because Cloud draws in the hardcore gamers. I don't know if that's true. Another character is Bayonetta, because that's technically basically Joker, but Nintendo owned, kind of. Nintendo partnered, anyway. Ryu is also a pretty big staple. I'm going to put basically all of these guys in here, because they could all be in there. Who knows? I also think Keaton DDD is a pretty solid overflow character. Pit was originally a meme. Isn't that funny? Pit was originally an old school Nintendo character meme. But he kind of grew into his own Smash niche in a weird way. I would include him if I could, because I like playing as Pit. If I had to drop somebody from this roster, who would I drop to make it 20? Down into this section. Ooh. I mean... Is this sacrilegious? This feels sacrilegious. But Luigi is literally just Mario with some slightly different moves. So... Oh god, he could turn into a costume, and it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Oh man, it feels bad. But sticking to a solid 20, that feels about right. Technically, Mario is only getting 3 characters, just like Zelda, and they're the 2 biggest franchises, so it makes sense they'd have the most. I mean, Yoshi is basically a Mario character, but oh well. And then Pokemon getting Greninja, really, it could have 3 as well. But... you know. Yeah. And I think that covers a good variety of play styles, too. Technically, well, we have 2 heavies in Bowser and Ganondorf. We have Villager, Inkling, Olimar, and Samus all being kind of projectile characters. Let's just sort them instead of by series, by role. So Mario's kind of an all-rounder. What else could I say is kind of an all-rounder? I guess Inkling's kind of an all-rounder. Villager is also kind of there. Kirby's definitely an all-rounder. Okay. That's true. Projectile spammy characters. We just got to get Marth out of here. Link is technically a sword character, but he's also kind of a projectile spammy character. Let's put the heavies at the end. It's only fair. So we get 3 heavies. I guess Pikachu's kind of a projectile spacing character. I've put Link on the boundary between the 2 of them because it only makes sense. Only 2 sword characters. Are you happy now? Greninja's kind of like a sword character, or at least he'll kind of perform like a sword character. Good barrier into Rushdown, which is kind of what this category is. I guess Zelda's definitely a projectile character. Which is these guys. Is Peach a zoner? I don't really know how to classify her. She's kind of like Fox. That sounds wrong to say, but kind of. In terms of like having one projectile, the kind of space, but mostly does close quarters combat. And Yoshi is definitely closer to like Mario than anything else, despite having one projectile. I think maybe Captain Falcon just has to go like here, because he's the he's the most hands-on Rushdown character. There you go. That kind of defines the archetypes a little better. I don't know if that was necessary, but I think that's fairly well-rounded. There's a good chunk of projectile characters, which, you know, is annoying, but most of the characters on the cast have a projectile, other than like the heavies and Captain Falcon. I think Kirby, I guess, has to absorb to get a projectile, but and Marth doesn't have one. But that's it, yeah. Everybody else can throw something, so it's kind of fair. Anyway, Little Mac is also an old school Nintendo meme. Probably not coming back if we're doing a slim roster like this. Meta Knight is also on Overflow. An iconic character for sure, but like not essential. Oh no, I didn't put a Xenoblade character in. Oh no. Lucas is costume at best, I would say, if Ness even makes it in. But he probably will. Let's be honest. He probably will. I think Min Min is probably out. I think Ridley is probably out. Despite liking Ridley in this game. Fun character. Palo is probably out. Wario is definitely Overflow, because Wario's a very well-beloved character in this game. Candy's a costume at best. Should I put Joker in the Overflow with the other non-Nintendo characters here? Also, Bayonetta should be up here, really. I don't know why. It just feels like Joker fits among this cast. I don't really know. Really, I could probably put Snake down here, too, because Snake's kind of an iconic Smash character at this point. If they were going to shell out the cash for anybody, it'd probably be one of these guys. Because Minecraft Steve probably cost them a lot of money. You might as well just take Cloud if you're going to take Sephiroth. Kazuya and Terry are just fighting game characters that, you know, we got Ryu. It's kind of trumps both of them in terms of relevancy. Hero is interesting. It's an interesting one. I could see maybe, because it is such a big series in Japan, but... and you're not shelling out money for Sora, that's for sure. And Banjo? Probably not. Ah, man. Pyramithra or Shulk? That would mean I'd have to cut somebody else from the roster. Man, I thought I was set. Who else could I even possibly cut from this roster? Luigi was already far enough. Am I going to cut... Honestly, I don't think there's anybody here with low enough relevance to cut. Maybe Donkey Kong, but that would be insane. There's no way they would do that. Oh. If I had to. But Yoshi would be at the top of the Overflow characters, for sure. And between Pyramithra or Shulk, I think it's probably most likely Shulk. I'm just going to count here. So we've got 4 female characters on the roster. Let's go with Pyramithra for now, and we'll put Shulk in Overflow. Realistically, it'd probably be Shulk, because he's got the Monado, and that's more unique. I have to do it. Also, Shulk's a sword character. Kind of a ludicrous sword character, but a sword character, technically. And there's no way they wouldn't have Xenoblade in there, you know? Yeah, that's how I feel, I think. And these are just the characters, but separate. So these are everybody that I think would probably be out. There are some of these that I think I'm probably being a little too generous on. Then again, if somebody else is actually going to take the reins of the series, I don't know how much nepotism really matters. Like, does Sheik get in the game strictly because Sheik has been in Smash games since the beginning? Because Sheik's relevance is zero, you know what I mean? The last time Sheik was in a game was Ocarina of Time. And they were going to make like a Sheik spin-off, and then they never did, so... I don't know. Especially when Greninja is also a ninja character, way more popular, way more relevant, and could adopt some of Sheik's gameplay styles to stand out. Yeah. That's probably the hardest one for me out of these guys. The rest of them are like, yeah, okay. They're probably not coming back. Pit would probably be the second hardest. But again, we don't really have the Sakurai bias that we can count on to get Pit in the game. So, yeah, he's probably out. I should rank the overflow characters from most to least likely. So we're going to put all the DLC characters at the bottom, obviously. The ones that aren't Nintendo characters. From them, I mean, it's probably Joker, then Snake, then... Sonic is definitely at the top. Sonic just sticks to these games. I think Cloud is probably next, just because such a big name, right? You want a big name to stand out. Then probably Bayo for being easier. Then I don't know if Ryu trumps Mega Man. They're kind of equal, I think, but I'll technically put Mega Man above. Just for being more iconic. And out of Pac-Man, Sonic, or Mega Man, Pac-Man would definitely be the one left on the table if you had to choose, right? Charizard somehow made it into... okay, Wario's probably realistically on top. But Charizard somehow made it into Brawl despite Pokemon Trainer getting cut, so there's a good chance Charizard could make it again. I'll put Yoshi above Charizard, though. I think they might choose Wario over Yoshi, though. I don't know. Ness and Jigglypuff kind of have nepotism reasons to be here. They've been in the series a long time, but like, King Dedede is pretty iconic. Falco also, I'll put him here for nepotism as well. Diddy Kong probably over Rosalina. I don't know, maybe. Probably Byleth at the bottom of the Nintendo characters. Mewtwo probably above Rosalina. Yeah, that feels about right. I'm not going to rank him in the in tier because, like, they're all in, so oh well. But yeah, that's my list. And then these guys I think could serve fine enough as costumes. It would be a little bit awkward for some of them, like Ken wouldn't have his Shoryuken properly, and Dark Samus wouldn't move properly, and Lucina wouldn't have her tipper. Also, Wolf technically wouldn't move properly either, but honestly, it would be doable, you know? If they really had to cut down to just 20 characters, I think this is what it would be. And then they can add newcomers to fill in some of the missing niches that we've booted to the curb in the out section. Or if they wanted to include some other characters, it would probably be these ones, but in this order, in my opinion. So yeah, that's my list. I'd be curious to know what your top 20 would be in terms of what characters you keep in. I feel like it would be pretty similar to what I've put here, just because, like, these are the iconic Nintendo characters from their top franchises. It's not that crazy. But, you know, you might not think Greninja should get in just because it's a popular Pokemon. You might cut Villager or Olimar because they're not really that big of a Nintendo series. You might cut Captain Falcon because he's definitely not that big of a Nintendo series. Or Star Fox. It's just, you know, they've been in since the beginning, so it would feel weird to cut them here. You never know. I did cut Luigi and Ness and Jigglypuff, but Was Ness in Melee first, or was Ness... No, Ness was in Smash 64. I'm not crazy. And Yoshi. I cut Yoshi. That's probably the biggest slap in the face I could... Of everyone I had to cut was probably Yoshi. But, you know, would the game be better without him? It's hard to say. All right. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up. Okay, bye.